Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showcasing you guys a pure Melffy deck, meaning no sprites. So let's just get started right away. So, first up, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Melffy Puppy. Before I explain what Puppy does, I'll explain what the Melffy's deck does just in general. So the Melffy monsters, they special summon themselves during the end of your turn, and when your opponent summons a monster or declares an attack that targets a Melffy card, they can return back to your hand, and each one of them triggers unique effects. So if you look at Puppy here, when he goes back into the hand, you can special summon one level 2 or lower beast monster from your deck. Next, 3 copies of Melffy Caddy. He is your searcher, because once he returns to hand, you can add a beast monster. Please note that it's not level locked, there is no level restriction like Melffy Puppy had, it being level 2. You can just add any beast monster. Next, 3 copies of Melffy Wally. This card is a little bit more recent, it released in Power of the Elements. She is absolutely fantastic because when she comes back to hand, you can special summon 2 Melffy monsters with different names from your deck. So I usually summon out Melffy Puppy as well as Melffy Caddy, because Puppy summons will extend into a different monster, and Caddy is a searcher. So whatever I need, depending on what my opponent is doing, I can just search for it. Next, 2 copies of Melffy Penny. He is just a synchro summon during your opponent's turn. So whenever you bring back a different Melffy card from the field to hand, you can trigger Melffy Penny's effect and immediately synchro summon using itself and other Melffy monsters in your hand and perform just a synchro. It's basically IP Masquerena. Just an excellent card. I've seen it basically played in the Melffy Sprite variant, which only showed like 2 Melffy cards, which I don't really like. So yeah, I played 2 of those. 3 it bricks, 1, I don't know, you kind of want to see it here and there. Next, 1 copy of Melffy Pony and 1 copy of Fenny. Pony just brings back a level 2, oh, never mind, oh yeah, level 2 or lower beast monster from the grave back to your hand. Fenny just special summons a beast monster from your hand. So, recycles and just swaps out with a different card. So that about sums up the main deck Melffy monsters that I play. I'll now showcase the non-Melffy monsters in the deck. So, 3 copies of Rescue Cat. You contribute it off the once it's normal. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower monsters. Special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast monsters. My apologies, but their effects are negated. But we don't really care about that because what I'll show you later, we're just gonna go summon the materials needed to summon Naturia Beast. Next, 3 copies of Nimble Beaver. It's a beast. It's level 2. It can special summon another Nimble monster from deck or graveyard. So this sets you up nicely for your Link 2 or Rank 2 Exceeds plays, or even just as more synchro fodder for your synchro boss monsters that we play. Next, 3 Calantosa. Honestly, I've seen in other deck profiles where they only play 1 or 2 so that they can make more room for hand traps, so feel free to tinker around with the Calantosa ratio, but I play it at 3 because there's so many ways you could just bring this guy out, because if this card is special summoned by the effect of a beast monster, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So you can special summon it out using Puppy's effect, you can special summon it out from your hand using Melffy Fenny's effect, as well as I believe there's one other way, but those are the 2 primary ways to capitalize on this guy, and it really helps in the grind game because you're just constantly interrupting your opponent. Next, 2 copies of Valerifon and 1 Mind Mole. So these 2 cards are your targets to summon off Rescue Cat's effect, because he is a tuner and their levels equal 5, so there's the Naturia Beast opening. And the good thing about Mind Mole is that if it's used as a synchro material, it can Oh, synchro summon of a beast monster, you draw 1 card. So you also replenish your hand. Valerifon also has a graveyard effect where you can, at the cost of 1, just bring back 1 level 2 beast monster from your grave and special summon it in attack position or face down. Next, we play 1 copy of Alpha, the Master of Beast. Given that all of your other main deck monsters have such low attack, it is guaranteed that your opponent's total attack points on their side of the field is going to be significantly higher than what you have in total. So, a free summon, as well as its ability, is return face-up monsters your opponent controls to the hand, equal to the number of cards you return to the hand, which would be composed of Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast. So, really good, kind of a board breaker as well as a beat stick. Next, we're just going to go into your hand trap lineup. And in this deck, I only play 3 copies of Ghost Ogre, but you can substitute this out with any hand trap that you want, literally anything. Heck, like I mentioned before, you could reduce the number of the Melffy main deck monsters, as well as change the Kalantoza ratios to make more room for hand traps or board breakers. For your spells, I play 2 copies of Ayers Rock Sunrise. It is a beast version of Monster Reborn. You can special summon it, but it also has a bonus effect where all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose 200 attack for each beast, plant, and wing beast monster currently in your graveyard. Next, 2 copies of Melffy Hide and Seek. Excellent card. It protects all of your beast monsters once from being destroyed by card effect. Also, you can target 3 beast monsters with different names in your grave, shuffle them, and draw 1 card. So you can recycle your resources and +1. 2 copies of Melffy Staring Contest. This card allows you to search for any Melffy card in your deck. It is a great card to have at 2. I think at 1, you could get away with it, but sometimes you just want to see it more in your hand, often than not. It also has a fantastic battle effect that your opponent's monsters lose attack equal to the total sum of all Melffy monsters in your hand, which Melffys, they just warm up your hand so quickly that your opponent will have a hard time beating over your monsters or even going in for game. Next up, 3 copies of Obedience School. Like I said, we are playing a pure version, so we have more beasts. Well, actually, I think majority of all of our monsters are beasts, so it's a really good card. Allows you to put out 3 monsters on the field. Their effects are negated, and you are beast locked for the rest of the turn, but you could definitely build up a rather defensive board just with this card alone. And for your final spell, we play Scapegoat. Scapegoat, as you know, the tokens are all beast level 2s, so we do play, admittedly, a bit of a Tri-Brigade extra deck, so this card is just a 1 card Tri-Brigade Link summon, essentially. And for your traps, just 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt. You could take this out, but I like it because it's a fun tech choice where if you have the right materials in the right number of materials in your grave, you could just go into the Link 4 Tri-Brigade monster, Should I? Which I'll be showcasing shortly as we enter the extra deck. So, the extra deck. We got 2 copies of Melffy of the Forest, 1 copy of Joyous Melffys, and 1 copy of Cat Shark. So, Melffy of the Forest. This card lets you search for any Melffy card, excellent searcher, and if another face-up Melffy card you control returns back to your hand, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls. It can no longer attack, and its effects are negated while this guy is face-up on the field. So, negates are nice. Joyous Melffys. Kind of like your Beats deck, just detach 1 and all your Melffys can attack directly, which combos excellently with Cat Shark because when you detach a material, you can target 1 rank 2 or lower Xyz monster, and the original attack is doubled. So, if Joyous Melffys can attack directly while its attack is doubled, that's just 4k right off the bat. So, really good. These 2 kind of synergize well, and Cat Shark will most likely have its ability where If it has a material attached that's originally water, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Mainly because 1, we play Melffy Penny, as well as Nimble Beaver. Moving on to another wave of Xyz monsters. Number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sandaiyu, Sky Cavalry Centauria, Onibimaru Soul Sweeper, and number 2, Ninja Shadow Mosquito. So, Ronin Raccoon Sandaiyu, he's pretty good because if your opponent controls, like, let's say a 4k attack point monster, activate his effect, summon a token that has equal stats to one of your opponent's monsters, and just crash into it. Sky Cavalry Centauria and Onibimaru Soul Sweeper, they are more so spot removal, but Sky Cavalry can return a card back to hand by detaching a material. And Onibimaru, just detach one, target one monster your opponent controls, and banish it onto your opponent's end phase. Number 2, Ninja Shadow Mosquito, is excellent because 1, it can't be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage. All monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. So, when an attack is declared, you could do one out of 2 things. Detach 1 and place a hallucination counter on a monster they control. Or 2, if that monster already has a hallucination counter, just inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one monster with the hallucination counter. So we got some burn damage, we got some spot removal, we got some, I guess, board breaking going on here. So a very diverse lineup of Xyz rank 2 utility. For your linked monsters, we're going to play 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Farragut, the Barren Blossom. This card is great because it's a beast, so you can activate its effects, special summon Calantosa if you opened it in your opening hand, and just activate Calantosa, pop a card on the field. On top of that, if this card is sent to grave, you can draw 1 card and then put back 1 card you don't need at the bottom of the deck. Next up, 2 copies of Tri-Brigade Shurai, the Ominous Omen. I love this card. Good amount of attack points in a deck where attack points seem barely existent, and if it's special summon, or if you special summon a beast, beast warrior, or wing beast, you can non-target banish 1 card on the field, which is fantastic against cards with targeting protection. Also, if this card is sent to from the field to, not the field, but if it's just sent to the graveyard in general, you can add 1 beast, beast warrior, or wing beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose levels is less than or equal to the number of your banished beast, beast warrior, or wing beast monsters. This is where Tri-Brigade Revolt kind of comes in because, off of Revolt you banish a bunch of stuff to summon either Shurai or Farragut. For your final 3 extra deck cards, we're going to play Herald of the Arc Light, Merry Melffys, as well as Naturia Beast. Herald of the Arc Light, you can easily summon this off of a level 2 tuner and 1 random level 2 monster, and now you have a Omni Negate as well as a continuous effect going on that any monster sent from the hand or main deck to the grave is instead banished. Meanwhile, Merry Melffys, which is your primary target to summon off of Melffy Penny's immediate synchro summon, he can just simply target a card once it's summoned, and target one face-up monster in the field and return it back to your hand. On top of that, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, or targets it for an attack, return this and then special summon 1 Melffy Xyz from your extra deck. And Naturia Beast, one of the most powerful cards I have ever seen in existence. Just non-once return spell negate, just send 2 cards every time you activate. Against certain decks, or even majority of decks, it just absolutely decimates. So yeah guys, so that is our Melffy deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it, and I have a fantastic day, and stay blessed. Thank you.